In the autumn of 2018, Emily Carter, a 27-year-old graphic designer, was living alone in a quiet town outside Asheville, North Carolina. After inheriting her grandmother's old house near a dense forest, she enjoyed a peaceful life working from home. The house was old but beautiful, surrounded by towering trees and far enough from town to offer privacy. Local residents often spoke about strange things happening in the woods, but Emily dismissed those stories as small-town folklore. Everything changed on a cold October evening when she received a voicemail notification, despite never receiving a call. Curious, she played the message. For several seconds, there was only static, followed by a faint scratching sound and a whisper that made her blood run cold. A male voice softly spoke her name, Emily. Thinking it was a prank, she deleted the message. The next morning, she found muddy footprints directly beneath her kitchen window. It had rained the night before, but the footprints seemed unusual because they stopped at the window, as if someone had been standing there, watching. She called her friend Sarah, who laughed and told her she was imagining things. Emily tried to believe her, but that night, she awoke at exactly 2:13 a.m. to 3 slow knocks coming from downstairs. She sat frozen in bed, listening as the sound echoed through the silent house. When she finally gathered the courage to check, no one was there. The next morning, she discovered a photograph taped to her front door. It was a picture of her house taken from deep within the woods behind the property. Written on the back were 3 chilling words: "I see you." Frightened, Emily contacted the police. Officers searched the area, but found no evidence. They suggested it might be a prank. Emily wanted to believe them, but something deep inside told her otherwise. A few days later, an email arrived from an unknown sender containing only a video attachment. When she opened it, her worst fears became reality. The footage showed her sleeping in her bedroom. The camera had been positioned outside her window. Someone had been watching her while she slept. Police took the threat more seriously and installed security cameras around the property. For a short time, nothing happened, and Emily slowly began feeling safe again. Then on Halloween night, she returned home after spending the evening with Sarah. The moment she stepped inside, she noticed a strange odor coming from upstairs. Following the smell, she climbed into the attic with a flashlight. Hidden behind old boxes was a sleeping bag, empty water bottles, food wrappers, and hundreds of photographs of her. Some showed her shopping, others walking her dog, checking her mailbox, talking on the phone, even crying after difficult days. Someone had been secretly documenting every aspect of her life. Police searched the attic and discovered evidence that a person had been living above her for months. Among the belongings was a journal filled with obsessive notes about Emily's routine, habits, and personal life. On the final page, investigators found a single sentence written in large black letters: "I'm ready." The discovery terrified the entire community. News crews arrived. Neighbors locked their doors. Parents refused to let their children play outside. Weeks later, a hunter found an abandoned cabin deep in the forest. Inside were more photographs, maps, personal items, and a computer belonging to a drifter named Daniel Reeves. Investigators learned he had a history of stalking women and believed he had become obsessed with Emily years earlier. Yet before police could arrest him, Daniel vanished. Massive searches were conducted throughout the mountains, but he was never found. Some believed he died in the wilderness. Others thought he escaped and started over somewhere else. Emily eventually moved across the country to Oregon, hoping to leave the nightmare behind. She changed her phone number, deleted social media accounts, and avoided sharing her location with anyone except close family and friends. For nearly a year, her life seemed normal again. Then, one rainy evening, she received another voicemail notification. Once again, there had been no incoming call. Her hands trembled as she pressed play. For several seconds, there was only silence, followed by slow breathing. Then came a whisper she recognized instantly. It was the same voice from the first voicemail. The voice calmly said, "Found you." The message ended. Investigators traced the voicemail, but found nothing. No phone number, no location, no suspect. To this day, Daniel Reeves has never been found, and Emily refuses to discuss the case publicly. Whether the final voicemail came from Daniel or someone else remains a mystery. But one terrifying possibility continues to haunt everyone involved. If Daniel truly disappeared years ago, then who was watching Emily in Oregon? And if he was still alive, how many times had he already found her before leaving that final message? Some nights, Emily still wakes up at exactly 2:13 a.m., convinced she can hear 3 slow knocks coming from somewhere inside the house. She never answers the door. She never looks outside the window. Because after everything that happened, she fears that one day she might finally see the face of the person who has been watching her all along.